Hello friends, as you know that I am discussing PERT and CPM. I am discussing PERT and CPM, and I have already told you in the previous lectures about the basics and how to make a network diagram, basically the rules of a network diagram. And today we will study that what are the different types of a network diagram, and Fulkerson's rule. You have just gone through the rules, and now we will apply those rules. To make the network diagram. So basically I am taking an example. Suppose you make a network diagram like this. For example, I am taking a network diagram like this. Okay, suppose we have drawn a network diagram in this manner. Okay, it's just an example. What is A? What is this? A, B, C, D, E, and F. These all are activities. As you already know that we can represent the activity on a arrow. Draw a arrow and write the activity above it. Okay, draw a arrow and write the activity above it. It was the first rule. So the alphabets written over the arrow represent activity. And look at the circles. Look at the different black color circles. These empty circles are known as node. These empty circles are known as node. So you have to also number the nodes. These nodes. So Fulkerson's rule, our second topic is Fulkerson's rule, and naming of these black color nodes is done by Fulkerson's rule. So I'm just numbering it. It might be correct or wrong, but we will look Fulkerson's rule, then we will name it accordingly. So I'm just writing it. Suppose we have written it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So when you write the numbers in these black color circles, now these become event. These nodes become event. So basically we will draw the network diagram and we will look for Fulkerson's rule. Okay, so basically a network diagram, you already know that it is a logical sequence. Of the graphical representation of different activities. So there are basically two types of network diagram. There are basically two types of network diagram. The first one is activity on arrow diagram. The short form is AOA diagram. Activity on arrow diagram, or it can be also said as AOA diagram. The same name can be written as event on node diagram or EON diagram or EON diagram. Just now I have gone through the example in which the activity was written above the arrow, that is activity on arrow, and the event was present on the node number 1, number 2, the numbers event on node. So both are same. Either write the activity above the arrow or write the event on the nodes. This is the first network diagram. The second one is activity on node diagram. The second one is activity on node diagram. The short form is AON diagram. The short form is AON diagram. So basically there are two types of network diagram. First one is AOA diagram or EON diagram, and the second one is AON diagram, that is activity on node diagram. One by one we will see that how we can make those diagram. Okay, so first we will discuss activity on arrow diagram. So I will explain these things by an example. Okay, so let me take the example. So I am writing the first example. Number 1, and it says that draw a network diagram for the following activities. Using AOA diagram, that is activity on arrow diagram. The first question says that draw a network diagram for the following activities using AOA diagram. So what is given? It will be given in a tabular form. These questions will be given in a tabular form. It will be given like this: activity, and the second one is precedence. Activity and precedence. So I am taking the example. The first example I am taking it. Activity is given as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and K. Okay, A to K. And in the precedence, there is no precedence for A and there is no precedence for B. There is no precedence for A and there is no precedence for B. For C it is A, then B, again A, again B, A, B, A, B, C, D, G, F, P, H, I, and J. So this is the question, and you will get in each and every question like this table. There will be activity and there will be precedence relationship. You just have to draw the network diagram. So for drawing the network diagram, you must remember the rules. So I am starting. Look at the first activity. Look at the first activity. The activity is A. The activity is A. So the first activity which you are going to start is activity A, because look at the precedence. There is no precedence for activity A. There is no precedence for activity A. It means activity A will start first. Just look at B. Look at B. You will see that for B also, for activity B also, there is no precedence. It is blank. Both are blank. It means that activity A and activity B both can be started simultaneously. I have already told you about these things in the rules. Activity A and activity B, for both the activities there is no precedence. It means both the activities can be started simultaneously. So you have to start both those activities simultaneously. Activity A and activity B. Activity A and activity B using AOA diagram. It means the activities are represented on the arrow. Activities are represented on the arrow. Since no any activity, no any precedence for A and B, it means they will start simultaneously. They will start simultaneously. Okay. So you have drawn A and B. Now look C. Activity C. Activity C and the precedence is activity A. Activity C and the precedence is activity A. It means that activity C can only be started. Activity C can only be started when you have completed the activity A. When you have completed the activity A, it was rule number 2. It was rule number 2 because it says no other activities can be started in spite we have completed the previous activity. So precedence is A. It means you have to start you have to complete the activity A, then you have to start the activity C. So look at A. A has been completed. Now start the activity C. Start the activity C. Okay. Where you have completed activity A, from there only you have to start activity C because A is precedence to C. Now look for D. D. Activity D. The precedence is activity B. It means D will start from B. Activity D will start from B. Activity D will start from B. Okay. Activity D will start from B. Now look, activity E and the precedence is A. Again, for activity E, the precedence is A. It means E has to be started where A has been terminated. E has to be started. E has to be started where A has been terminated. Look at A. Look at A. You have to start E. You have to start E. Activity E. Okay. Activity E. You have completed activity E. Now look for F. Activity F. The precedence is B. The precedence is B. It means you have to start the activity F. You have to start the activity F because B is the precedence. So start the activity F where B has been terminated. Start the activity F where B has been terminated. Now look for G. Activity G. Look here. There are two precedents for activity G. For activity G, the precedence is both C and D. For activity G, the precedence is both C and D. It means you have to start activity G where both C and D has been terminated. You have to start the activity G where both C and D has been terminated. Look here. I have terminated them at a common point because I was knowing it. I was knowing it in the question only that C and D has to be terminated at the same point. So they have been terminated at the same point. They have been terminated at the same point. They have been terminated at the same point. Start activity G. Start activity G. Start activity G. Now look for H. H. H has been started where G and F both are being terminated. So you have to match these two. You have to match these two. So you have to match G and F because you have to start activity H. So just start activity H. Okay, H and the precedence is G and F. It means you have to match activity G and F. Now look activity I. Activity I, the precedence is E. The precedence is E. E. E is terminating at this node. Start activity I from the same point. Start activity I from the same point. And now activity J. Activity J, precedence is H and I. So H and I has to terminate at the same point. So terminate it at the same point. H and I. And start activity J. Start activity J. And the last activity, that is K. K has been started from J. Precedence is J. So start activity K and terminate it. Terminate it. You have completed your network diagram, and this is your network diagram. This is your network diagram for this example. This is your network diagram for this example. So you have to practice it. You have to practice it, because if you look at the previous year questions, each and every question consists of these types of tables. Each and every questions will consist of these types of tables. So you have to make the network diagram. You have to make the network diagram. Now if you want to name these nodes, then you have to use the Fulkerson's rule. But I will tell you about the Fulkerson's rule after this topic, because you will get confused. So you have to just make the network diagram. If you don't know the Fulkerson's rule, then also in GATE examination you can solve the problem. But I will tell you that what is Fulkerson's rule and how to number those nodes. So this was the first example. Now I will take another example. That is example second. I will take another example second. So you have to start drawing the network diagram. So just look at the table. Given things are activity and precedence. The first activity is activity A. So draw the activity. Look at the precedence. There is no precedence, means the first activity is activity A. Because there is no precedence for activity A. Just look at activity B. The precedence is A. Look at activity C. The precedence is A. And look at activity D. The precedence is A. It means all these three activities B, C and D has to be started only when A is completed. All these three activities has to be started only when A has been completed. So start activity B, C and D. So this is your B, C and D. You can start it like this. Okay, because A is precedence to all these three activities. So B, C and D are starting at the point where A has been terminated. Okay. Now look at E. The precedence is B. So E, the precedence is B. This is activity E. Now F, the precedence is C, and for G also the precedence is C. For activity F, the precedence is C. For activity F, and for activity G, the precedence is again C. You have to look for the rules also, that there is no loop formation, there is no common head and tail event. So in this network diagram, everything is correct till now. Okay. H, the precedence is E and F. So E and F has to be at common head. E and F has to be at common head because the precedence E and F. For H, the precedence is E and F. So activity H has to be started from the point where E and F has been terminated. So start activity H. Start activity H. Now for I, the precedence is D and G. The precedence is D and G. So you have to make it longer. Activity D. Activity D. Activity D. Look at this. C, G and D. This is not a loop. This is not a loop. Okay. For making a loop, D has to come backward. So this is not a loop. This is correct. And for okay, so you have to take activity I. Activity I. And for J, activity J, the precedence is H and I. So H and I has to be terminated at common head. And the next activity is activity J. Okay, the activity J. Just check the rules and check this network diagram and try to make your own network diagram. Because you have to practice a lot. Because in the examination, questions are directly coming on the network diagram. So you have to practice a lot. So try to make your own network diagram and then compare your network diagram with this mine network diagram. Okay, so this is the network diagram. And this is correct network diagram. Okay, this is correct network diagram. So we have seen two examples on AOA diagram. Now we will look for another example. So the next example says that draw a network diagram using AON diagram. That is activity on node. Okay, activity on node. So activity can also be represented on a node, and you have to draw a network diagram using AON diagram. The given one is activity. The activity is 1, 2, activity is 1, 4, activity is 1, 7, and so on. Okay, there is no precedence relationship given. So let's start it. The first activity is activity 1, and it is joining with activity 2. Why I have drawn it like this? Because no precedence is given and you have to draw the activity on node. So activity is drawn. Activity number 1 is present on the node. Activity number 2 is also present on the node. Okay, 1, 4. Activity 1 and activity 4, like this. It is very simple. Activity on node is always much simpler than activity on arrow diagram. Okay, activity on node is much simpler than activity on arrow. Now 1, 7. Now 2 and 3. 2 and 3. 3 and 5. Just keep moving it like this. 3 and 5. 4 and 6. Just draw it somewhere. 4 and 6. 4 and 8. Draw it like this. 4 and 8. Just draw it, and in the last you just watch that which have to be matched. Okay, 4 and 8. 5, 6. 5 6, it means this is 5, this is 6, match them, 6 and 9, 6 and 9, there is no 9, so just draw 9, draw 9, 7 8, match 7 and 8, 7 and 8, and the last 8 and 9. Okay, it is much simpler, it is much simpler. So you have drawn your network diagram, and this is AON, activity is present on the node. So whenever question is given like this, there is no precedence. Okay, there is no precedence. When there is no precedence, it means you have to think. Question will not tell you to draw it either by AOA diagram or AON diagram. That's the beauty of this chapter. Okay, the question will not tell you to draw it like AOA or AON. You have to simply think it. You have to simply think it that which diagram should be drawn. So whenever precedence is not given, then draw AON diagram. Then just draw AON diagram. Okay. But in PERT and CPM, this diagram is used rarely. In PERT and CPM, this diagram is used rarely. So we will take another example. So you are given activity and precedence. The activity is A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, there is no precedence. A, and it is B, C, D. Okay, you have been given a question like this. You have to draw a network diagram. Okay, so first, what we are seeing, activity is also given and precedence is also given. So we will try to draw it like AOA diagram. Okay, activity on arrow diagram. So first look for A. There is no precedence. There is no precedence for A. So activity A will be started first. Activity A will be started first. B, C, and D. Activity B, activity C, and activity D. For all those three activities, the precedence is activity A. So start your activity B, activity C, and activity D. Okay, you have drawn it like this. Now look for E. For E, the precedence is all three, B, C, and D. B, C, and D. It means you have to match it. You have to match it. B, C, and D. You have to match these all three. But when you will look at the rules, you know that this is a tail event, this is a head event. So activity B, activity C, and activity D, all these three are having a common head and common tail. So this is wrong. This is a wrong network diagram. You cannot draw it like this. You cannot draw it like this. So we know that if these things come in a network diagram, then we will use what? We will use a dummy activity. We will use a dummy activity. So I am drawing it again. I am drawing it correctly. Activity A. This is your activity B. This is your activity C, and your activity D. Okay. Up to this point, it is right. Both are same. Up to this point, both are same because the precedence is A for all these three activity. Now, since you have to combine all these three activity, activity B and activity C and activity D, so that E can be started. So what I am doing, I am drawing a dummy activity. I am drawing a dummy activity from B to C, that is B dash. I am drawing a dummy activity from D to this node, that is D dash. Look at it. There are two dummy activities, and I have already told you that number of dummy activity is not a restriction in a network diagram, but you have to use it wisely. You have to use it wisely. There should be optimum use of the dummy activity. And now draw activity E. Now draw activity E. This is correct. This is correct. B dash and D dash are dummy activity. B dash and D dash are dummy activity. So this network diagram is correct. So whenever you are stuck in these types of problem, just go for the dummy activity. Just go for the dummy activity. Means basics will help you everywhere. Basics will help you everywhere. Now if someone says that draw the same network diagram, this given example, draw the same network diagram using activity on node. Draw the same network diagram using activity on node. We can also draw the network diagram using activity on node, and it will become much simpler. It will become much simpler. So I am drawing it circle. Activity should be present on the node. Activity should be present on the node. So we have to draw A inside this circle. And activity A is starting first because there is no precedence. Activity A is starting first because there is no precedence. Now look at activity A. The precedence is, look for activity B. The precedence is A. This is B. Now look for C. The precedence is A. For D, same precedence. For D also, same precedence. Now to start activity E, the precedence is B, C and D. Okay. Look at the rules. Just look at the rules. There is no problem. So this is a correct network diagram. This is a correct network diagram using AON. So what is the advantages in AON network diagram? No dummy activity. There is no dummy activity, and it is one of the most important point. It is a 1 marks objective question. It is a 1 marks objective question that in AON no dummy activity is used. Just look at it. It is AOA. AOA. The same problem, 2 dummy activity, and the same problem using AON, no dummy activity. Okay. So no dummy activity is used, and I have already told you that this AON network diagram is not frequently used in PERT and CPM. Most frequently it is used in line balancing. It is one of the chapters of industrial engineering. I will teach you this chapter also. So it is most commonly used in line balancing, and this network diagram AOA, in which dummy activities can be used. So it is used in PERT and CPM most frequently. Not always, most frequently. Both can be used in PERT and CPM, but most frequently it is used in line balancing, and this is used in PERT and CPM. Okay, so just practice these examples. Now we will start our second topic, that is Fulkerson's rule. That is Fulkerson's rule. So our next topic is Fulkerson's rule, and I have taken an example. This is a network diagram. Okay, it had been made from somewhere else. Okay, so what Fulkerson's rule does that, it is used to, Fulkerson's rule is a rule which is used to name the different node present in the network diagram. So these are the nodes. These black circles represent the different nodes present in the network diagram, and we can name these circles with the help of Fulkerson's rule. We can name these circles with the help of Fulkerson's rule. So what it says that first name those nodes which do not have any incoming activities. First name those nodes which do not have any incoming activities. So when you look at this network diagram, you will find that there is only one node, which do not have any incoming activities. Incoming activities means like this, it do not have any incoming activities. Look at this node, it is having an incoming activity, activity A. This node, activity B, activity C, activity E, activity H, means all these are having incoming activities. It means these nodes cannot be named first. This node, this do not have any incoming activity, it is only having emerging activities, so this is named first. It is our first node in this network diagram. Now the second step is that delete all those activities, which are emerging from the named node. Delete all those activities which are emerging from the named node. So the already named one is 1. So delete all those activities which are emerging from 1. Activity A, activity B and activity C. Just forget it. Just forget activity A, activity B and activity C. So now you are left with these following nodes. Now you have to number it. So again go to the first rule. It says that name the activity which do not have any incoming, name the event which do not have any incoming activity. So look at both these and this one. You can see that activity E is going to this node. So this node is having an incoming activity, activity E, but this node and this node do not have any incoming activities. This node and this node do not have any incoming activity. It means these two nodes can be named first than this node. So name it activity 2 and name this activity 3. You may have one doubt that sir, can we name it number 2 and this one number 3? You can name it, but a general rule says that you have to name the node with a lower number. Which is present in the top. So when you look at this node, and this node is present at the top, so it is numbered with a less digit and it is numbered with a higher digit, that is 3. Now again what you have to do, you have to forget all the activities which are emerging from these named ones. So cut activity D, cut activity E and cut activity H. Just forget it. So you are left with this node and this node. Okay, you are left with this node and this node. Now look at this node. It is having an incoming activity. That is activity I. So it cannot be named now. Look at these two. They do not have any incoming activities because all the incoming activities has been cut down. And it is present at the top. So it should be numbered with less digit. So name it number 4 and name it number 5. Now cut all those activities which are emerging from the named one. Cut activity F, cut activity G and cut activity I. Okay. Now look. It cannot be named because J is an incoming activity into this node. Name it. This is activity 6 and the last one, cut this activity. Last one will be 7. So it has been completed. And this is only Fulkerson's rule. Okay. So we have done the earlier examples, 3 examples or 2 examples. So apply those Fulkerson's rule. It is your classwork, it is your homework, that apply the Fulkerson's rule in those examples and name the different nodes which were present in those network diagram. Okay. So it is very simple. And I am telling you a secret that in the GATE examination, Fulkerson's rule has no use. you can solve those network diagram without naming these events. Okay, you can solve the network diagram without naming these events, but you have to learn it. You have to learn it because in the interview, after the completion of the exam or after getting a good rank, if you go to any interview, then you may be asked about what is Fulkerson's rule. So you have to explain them. You have to explain them. So this is all about this lecture, and the next we will discuss more in detail about further in incoming lecture about PERT and CPM. Thank you.